All right, so the next lesson we're going to be doing is volumes of cones. And the setup for that equation is pretty much similar to volumes of cylinders, except for it's just a little bit different. So we're still going to be looking at height and the base, but we do have a little bit of differences with this one. So the equation is, instead of having the whole amount that we're doing, because of cones like this, we're going to be doing 1/3 of the base times the height. But I'm actually going to write out the base and how we know what the base is. So our base on here is still a circle. So we're going to be working with pi multiplied by the radius squared, and then we're still going to be looking at multiplying it by the height. The only difference is, and this can be the last thing that you do if you need to do it, you can figure out what this would be if it were a cone and then just divide the answer by 3. That's what it means by 1/3. It's going to be 1/3 of the size that it would be if it were a cylinder, because of the fact that it doesn't have the whole top and it doesn't have these sections right here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example. Our radius that they've given us is 6 centimeters. So we're just going to write out what we know over here. Our radius is 6 centimeters. Our height is 15 centimeters. And our volume, we don't know our volume yet. That's what we're trying to find right now. So we're going to go ahead and plug this into our equation. We don't know V, we're trying to find V, so we have V equals 1/3 multiplied by pi multiplied by our radius squared. And our radius is a distance from the center of the circle to the outside, which is 6. Squaring it means multiplying it by itself, so we have 6 times 6, and then we're going to multiply that by the height, which is 15. So we have V equals 1/3 pi multiplied by 36 multiplied by 15. 36, 3 goes into 36 12 times. So now we're just left with the volume is 12 times 15 times pi. 12 times 15 is 180 times pi is, write this over here. So our volume either equals 180 pi, 180 pi centimeters cubed, or if you take this and you plug it into your calculator, you can get 565.5 centimeters cubed. I rounded this up to a 5, it was a 0.48 and it went on a little bit longer, so this would be our volume of this cone. For our second example, we are going to be finding the height and we are actually going to be given the volume. So this is the same as what we were doing before with our second example for cylinders, except for now we're trying to find the height of a cone given the volume. So our equation, the volume equals 1/3 pi r squared times the height. We've been given the volume, 7,200. We've been given our radius, which is 15, and we don't know what the height is. That's what we're going to be solving for. So we're going to go ahead and plug in everything we know. Our volume is 7,200 equals 1/3, just rewriting it, multiplied by pi, multiplied by our radius squared, which is 15 squared, and multiplied by the height. So 15 times 15 is 225. Rewriting everything else. I'm going to do 225 times 1/3, or we can also say this is the same as dividing by 3. So 3 goes into 225 75 times. That pi is still there, and then we have multiplied by our height. So I'm gonna go ahead and rewrite this up here for you. Now, we have all of this is being multiplied together, so because of that, we can use that rule where we're just gonna divide by everything out in front of age to get age by itself. $75 goes into 7,296 times. We're left with this pi in the bottom. So this is our exact answer for the height, but because we have that pi in there, it's not really telling us much, so we need to divide by that number, and it's going to give us an approximate value for the height because it's working with pi. It's an irrational number. So 96 divided by pi gives us 30.557 and so on, but because of the extra 5 in there, we're just going to go ahead and round it up to 30.6, and we are not forgetting our measurement values, which is yards. So our units are yards, and there's not any cubes on there because we're not finding the volume. So our height is 30.6 yards.